Passenger rail service may get some new routes across the southeast that would provide better train rides for East Alabama.
Springtime means test time for schools across the area, and physical fitness will be the theme this weekend at a popular city park. We'll have those stories and more.
Below normal temperatures continue across East Alabama, but some warmer weather is just around the corner. We'll have the complete forecast details coming up.
Coming up in sports, the Calhoun County Track and Field Meet was yesterday at Choccolocco Park. Also, a night of celebration for another coach. We have more on both of those in just a minute as EAN Local News starts now.
Segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Hello, we're glad you could join us. I'm Katie Edwards.
And I'm Mike Stedham.
If a new advocacy group gets its wish, this is what the future of passenger rail service will look like in Alabama. All of the state's major cities will be served. Birmingham and Mobile will become busy hubs, and the Anniston Amtrak station will have 3 or more passenger trains passing through each day. Alan Crosby, Executive Director of Southeast Passenger Rail Initiative, says the map combines 3 programs to increase both long and short distance routes. Some of the projects will take decades to complete, but others could be ready for passengers within the next several months.
When it comes to Alabama, as far as the timeline is concerned, the one to Mobile, I was just reading actually yesterday, we're looking at the end of 2024 between New Orleans and Mobile. They got one more infrastructure hurdle to kind of hop over. But it looks like the funding is there, and to the point where they're actually starting to look at scheduling, which is fantastic. That'll be the first new line in the United States in forever, particularly in the southeast.
A more direct route from Anniston to Mobile is further down the tracks, and that would involve service from Birmingham to Montgomery to Mobile. Also in the works is an Amtrak initiative to add short-distance routes, making several trips each day between some major cities.
And in that map, you have a route to Birmingham from Atlanta, short distance. You have a route to Montgomery, route from New Orleans to Mobile would be kind of, and the one for people of Anniston that's important is that one between Birmingham and Atlanta because it'll run straight through there. Now, in that specific, as far as frequency and stuff, what Amtrak's kind of advocating for is more short distance routes, which instead of having one train that goes through per day, we're looking at 2 or 3 going in between Birmingham and Atlanta. So you have multiple options to go. Now that's in addition to, that's not in substitute of.
Crosby says that federal dollars have already been allocated for many passenger projects nationwide. His group was formed 2 years ago to advocate for more and better train routes across the southeast. And he says they've already been successful in reaching out to the public.
Our mission is to educate people, particularly in the southeast, and we confine ourselves to the southeast, on the benefits of rail, passenger rail systems, investment in passenger rail infrastructure, and the general growth of passenger rail in the southeast region. Now, that goes from everything from high-speed rail on the top end to a streetcar going through the middle of downtown. If it's got 2 rails and some wheels on it, we're probably advocating for it.
When we come back, schools across East Alabama are busy this month giving tests to see how well local students are learning their lessons.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
Students usually take tests to show how well they're learning in the classrooms, but this month a statewide testing program is measuring the effectiveness of those classrooms. As part of the Alabama Comprehensive Assessment Program, elementary and middle school students are taking a series of standardized tests to score school performances. 2nd through 8th grades sit down for these digital exams almost every day for a week, and the chief objective is to determine if schools are effectively teaching the kids the skills they need to know.
And that's where that academic accountability piece comes in. It's with our yearly report card the State Department puts out every year. Every school district in the state gets a report card, and they get a report card with a letter grade on it. That is really why the State Department put in these accountability measures, and we have overall report cards, because it's our accountability as a school district for how are we doing. You've entrusted us with your kids, and the general public wants to know, how do our schools look?
Each fall, the Alabama State Department of Education formulates those report cards. It issues grades on an A through F scale for local districts and the individual schools within them. Many factors, including attendance and teacher preparedness, are used to formulate the grades, and State School Superintendent Dr. Eric Mackey says the ACAP test scores are a big part of the process.
The schools that score in the bottom 5% on the report card they go into what we call comprehensive school improvement. We have a team of folks that go in and work with those schools. Now, there will always be schools in comprehensive school improvement, because no matter how well everybody scores, it's always the bottom 5%, and there's always a bottom 5%. So there are always going to be schools in school improvement, but obviously what we want to do is work with the schools that are there, help raise them up. As they go up, new schools will still be in the bottom 5%, but the average overall continues to rise for everybody.
After the exams are completed and the scores are in, school administrators at every level evaluate the results to assess the school's strengths and weaknesses. In response, they tweak classroom lessons, teacher training, or other academic elements to make improvements the next year. Oxford Accountability Coordinator Rhonda Perry says they use ACAP testing to measure the success of those changes.
Now, when we see these individual grades and we see the breakouts of how students performed in particular areas and subdomains on each test, then we create a plan of action.
Mackey says test results from the first 2 years of ACAP testing showed promising results, and he says he hopes to see the trend continue for Alabama schools.
In 21 was our baseline year. We saw about 2% growth across the board from 21 to 22, about another 2 to 3% from 22 to 23. So obviously, I'd really love to see another 2 to 3% growth. Now, that's not sustainable for forever. At some point, those growth metrics are going to compress. And it's going to be more difficult. As you go up, it's more difficult to get that growth. But I do think we're in a place where we could still get some big jumps, and I'm hoping we'll get another 2 or 3% growth this year.
Want to know how your child's school scored last year? Hop on over to our Facebook page, where you can find a link to the State Department of Education's digital scorecard.
When we return, Fitness Fest is coming to East Alabama this weekend.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Oxford Lumber. Come visit any of our locations in Oxford, Jacksonville, Talladega, and Roanoke.
Oxford's Choccolocco Park will host its first Fitness Fest on Saturday for families across the area. This free event is being organized by Oxford High School Vision 1 students. Participants of all ages are invited to have some fun, completing tasks on the park's fitness court, a short biking trail, and inflatable obstacle courses. Live music and select food trucks will be available throughout the event to empower every attendee. The Fitness Fest will run from 8 a.m. until noon.
Fitness Fest. They added the word fest in there. It sounds like something you're going to be able to eat, but really it's quite the opposite, isn't it?
Well, they will have food there, but I wonder if it will be healthy food.
Oh.
Or whether it will just be food.
Well, that's a good question. Do you plan on finding out?
No.
Okay.
It's going to be Saturday morning, which to me is like 1 p.m., 2 p.m.
John Holder joins us now in the EAN Weather Center. We enjoyed beautiful weather today. Wonder how long it will continue. John joins us to tell us all about it.
Mike and Katie, we are in a stretch of very nice weather, dry conditions in store all the way through the weekend across East Alabama. We will detail the forecast coming up next.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Temperatures across East Alabama still way below the average for this time of year. 62, the best we could do today, about 10 degrees below the average. A cold morning this morning at 38 degrees. Record high at 86, record low 29. The sun setting this evening at 7:07. The sun rising tomorrow at 6:25. And we've got more cold weather on the way. Weather on your street on this Thursday night. 36 with areas of frost. This is April, folks, but we have this from time to time. O'Grady Avenue out in Weaver, bundle up tonight. 36 with some winds out there. It's going to be a very chilly Thursday night. Going and looking at tomorrow, your Friday is going to be much like today. We'll take the winds out of the equation. That will be one thing that will be better about tomorrow. But if you're out on Bernard Couch Drive in DeArmonville or anywhere in Calhoun, Cleburne, Etowah counties, get ready for clear conditions, but still on the cool side. We remain 10 degrees below the average tomorrow with a high once again only at 62 degrees. Better news coming for the weekend though. We've got temperatures rising out on Westover Road in Hewletton. You folks out in western Calhoun County, get ready. We have 60s coming up. Maybe some upper 60s on Saturday, and then we're in the mid 70s on Sunday. Again, no chance of rain in the forecast. All in all, whatever street you're on in East Alabama, the weather's going to be good throughout the weekend. Here's the 7-day forecast, a stretch of dry weather coming up and temperatures rising. We got some cold mornings. We'll have frost tomorrow morning. We'll have frost again Saturday morning. That looks like the cold morning. There might even be a freeze in some locations. 67 though by Saturday afternoon, 75 on Sunday afternoon. We rise to 77 on Monday. That will feel nice. A 20% chance of a shower. That is not until late in the day on Monday, well after lunchtime. Then we've got a few more showers back in the forecast as we get into really an unsettled pattern next week. Tuesday and Wednesday, a 40% chance of showers, better chance of showers and maybe a storm on Thursday of next week. The one thing that is not going to change is the temperatures. Once we get into the 70s on Sunday, we're going to stay in the 70s all the way through the week next week. And those nighttime lows say goodbye to the 30s, perhaps until fall, as we're going to be right back into the 50s, getting close to 60 degrees again for nighttime lows by the middle part of next week. And let's take a look now at temperatures. We've been talking a lot about temperatures. It's mainly a temperature forecast for the next several days. Looking ahead to the middle of April, just about all of the country, including here in the southeast, is going to see temperatures above normal. There are 2 exceptions where we see below normal temperatures coming, and it's not places that you would typically expect to see below normal temps. That's here on the Texas border and with Mexico down in South Texas. Also in Hawaii, of all places. Below normal temperatures there, but above normal everywhere else in the United States, including even in about half of the state of Alaska. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. with your day at a glance for your Friday. Back here tomorrow night with EAN Local News as we take a look at the weekend forecast for all of East Alabama. It is sports time. A lot of county tournaments going on this week in Calhoun County, including the county track meet. And Namath Pitts is on top of it. He has all of your sports news right now. Namath?
Thanks, John. The Calhoun County Track and Field Meet was yesterday at Choccolocco Park in Oxford. We have the highlights and the results from yesterday. Alexandria girls edged out Oxford by 6 points to win the county championship. Oxford boys had a significant lead on second place finisher Anniston. Sacs Terriana Hughley took gold in the 100 and the 200 meter dashes. White Plains Madden Kahn took gold in the 1600 and 3200 runs, and she also anchored the Wildcats' winning 4x800 relay team. Oxford's Jeremiah Wall took gold in the 100 and 300 hurdles. Anniston's Malachi Taylor took gold in the long jump and the triple jump. Weaver boys swept the hurdles, with Keyshawn Allen taking gold in the 110 and Caden Gooden taking gold in the 300. Anniston won the 4x400 and the 4x800 relays. You see him right there. Anniston's Jare Gutierrez took gold in the pole vault. Estella Cannell took gold for Donahoe in the high jump, long jump, and triple jump. Antonio Hicks took the 100 and the 200 dashes and was part of Oxford's gold-winning 4x100 relay team. Case Payne from Oxford won the 800 and the 1600 meter runs, and Jaden Lewis took gold in the high jump for the Yellow Jackets. Yesterday afternoon, the Donahoe Falcons celebrated Coach Steve Gendron, who is in his 10th season as the head baseball coach at Donahoe. The Donahoe Falcons baseball team recognized Coach Steve Gendron's 10th season as head coach in a special ceremony after last night's win against Gadsden. Several former players were in attendance to thank Coach Gendron for his contributions to the Donahoe baseball program. Named to the all-decade team were Hall Billings, Seth Ford, Jace Alderman, Blake Willingham, Slade Haney, Judson Billings, Lucas Elliott, Peyton Webb, Blake Sewell, and Marcus Lawler. Coach Gendron's team celebrated not only him, but celebrated getting an area win over Gaston 7-5. Alexandria girls were expected to win the county golf championship, but they fell short to White Plains. Alexandria responded positively by winning the following day. The Alexandria girls golf team traveled to Goose Pond Golf Course and won the Scottsboro Invitational. Avery Prickett took second place overall as an individual. Jasmine Stokes finished third overall as an individual, and Nevaeh Foster finished fourth overall as an individual. Alexandria beat Albertville, Athens Bible, Fort Payne, Hazel Green, Aniana, Bibb County, Gunnersville, and several other schools as the girls win the Scottsboro Invitational. That's it for EAN Local Sports. Let's go back over to Mike and Katie.
Thanks for the update, Namath, and thank you for watching today.
You can find us here online every weekday on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, or on our website. Just go to the platform of your choice to watch our news, sports, and weather content whenever it's convenient for you.
We'll see you back here Friday for your news on your schedule.